Make in India policy is accelerating foreign direct investment. Manufacturing has received a boost and companies are gearing up to establish efficient and reliable supply chains. From a production perspective, it combines the digitalization and smart machines concept emerging from Industry 4.0 and smart manufacturing. Samarth Udyog is India's response to the fourth industry revolution. This journey is not one just about technology. It's also about changing the way we work, changing the way we think. What is unique to India is our ecosystem, which comprises a large number of small and medium enterprises.
Manufacturing is also a national priority, and it comes down to creating opportunities for SMEs to actually respond to this need. They need to be globally competitive.
The Indian ecosystem actually makes a very hard entrepreneur out of SME. So if a SME has the information to its market, the market demand, the logistic chain, the raw material chain, then I think Industry 4.0 actually comes to the aid of SME.
One is improvement in the means of manufacture. Second is the harnessing of the power of data which emanates from the manufacturing industry.
Getting small and medium enterprises is both exciting, but it's very daunting. Many of them are still the stage of pre-automation. We've factored in our journey the very process of bringing them in, taking them up the curve right up to Lean Six Sigma. Our first attempt would be to set up a small lab in which we will get the SMEs to come and see by example simple production processes, engage with them on what they've actually been doing in their current automation, and then slowly get them to see that the integration of IT and OT is not such a big situation.
We implemented this e-factory concept first in our manufacturing facilities in Japan and China. Our e-factory solutions are set to benefit Indian manufacturers to produce high-quality products at high speed to cater domestic needs as well as overseas market.
Smart manufacturing is basically a basket of technologies that starts from the IoT, connectivity, cyber physical system, augmented reality. So the role is basically to demystify the technology in the forefront, understand the technology as a teacher, and then the role is to pass on this knowledge to the people.
In the next 2 years, you will see hundreds of companies doing their R&D activities out of the IIT campuses, and that is where these industries will work closely with our faculty and students, work in a multidisciplinary kind of a fashion.
The automation industry also has a great opportunity to build upon its infrastructure, and I mean specifically with regard to the system integrator community. Not all of them have a national footprint. It's not easy for customers to find where they operate, what kind of uniqueness they bring in terms of their solutions. So as AIA, our job will be to bring them on board at least one platform.
We want to keep in mind where the Indian industry is going to be 10 years from now and prepare our students to meet those kind of challenges, to propel the Indian industries to the world stage.
Technology has a very crucial role to play in this. I think technology is that X factor which can bring about the transformation.
In my opinion, by and large, automotive and pharmaceutical are two important verticals that will benefit with Samarth Udyog.
Right place to start from is what is it that I want to do with my business? Where is it that I want to take my manufacturing operations to?
We have the capacity to be the leaders, and we should now take charge.
Good morning, everyone. It's an honor to have the opportunity to address such a distinguished audience today. I welcome you all to today's webinar on skilling opportunities for smart manufacturing revolution. It has been a great and remarkable journey for us introducing FSM Summer Internship in June 2022. It is a proud moment for all of us, and I would like to share the journey with you all. The program started in June 2022, where we received an encouraging response with 900 students applying from 125 colleges across India. 581 students from 110 colleges were shortlisted based on the eligibility criteria and were taken forward. With a lot of efforts being made by the interns, 164 interns achieved level 1 proficiency. Another 82 students achieved level 2 proficiency with the completion of internship project. An independent jury comprising mentors and industry experts evaluated their performances and through a multi-stage process, and we arrived at a merit list of 25 students. Today's event is organized to give recognition to the outstanding efforts made by these deserving students and our mentors and honorable jury members who incredibly supported this event to be a big success. Today's agenda is of particular interest to those who are interested in learning new technologies. Further, I would like to share the initiative taken by the Indian government to boost up smart manufacturing and Industry 4.0 in India. 75 years of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. This is one of the initiatives taken by the Government of India. Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav is a series of events organized by the Government of India to commemorate the 75th anniversary of independence and 91 years of Dandi March and has been launched on March 12, 2021. The Mahotsav is being celebrated as a people movement across the country. Now, every one of us have heard about Samat Udyog, but what it is exactly? It stands for Smart Advanced Manufacturing and Transformation Hubs. Samat Udyog is a national platform created by the Ministry of Heavy Industries, Government of India, for increasing the competitiveness in the Indian capital goods sector through smart manufacturing. What is FSM? Why FSM is formed and what it is exactly? Foundation for Smart Manufacturing. Under the Samat Udyog mission, Indian Institute of Technology and Automation Industry Association, supported by Ministry of Heavy Industries, have created a common engineering facility center that supports and develops technology for the Indian industry and help us with the right understanding and implementation of concept of smart manufacturing. FSM imbibes technology from leading companies in Europe, Japan, USA, and India and offers an integrated experience for prospective users, consultants, integrators, and academicians. Now, I would like to introduce Professor Sunil Shah, who will be introducing FSM and its journey and will also be guiding us over challenges, opportunity, and future direction of smart manufacturing. Mr. Sunil Shah, Professor Sunil Shah, did his PhD in manufacturing science from IIT Kanpur and has been engaged in teaching and research for last 13 years. He has developed new unconventional super finishing processes and filed 8 patents. Few of them have been successfully commercialized. Before joining IIT Delhi, he worked with Tata Motors, Jamshedpur in the area of CAD/CAM. Currently in the capacity as a director, IITD-AIA Foundation for Smart Manufacturing, Dr. Jha is closely supporting the manufacturing industry in absorbing new technologies to make them ready for the next industrial revolution. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Samiksha, for the introduction. Please stop sharing your slides so that I can just take it forward. Yeah, so very good morning to all of you. I think it's really a good opportunity for all of us to have a conversation and then discuss about the what are the future directions for the smart manufacturing. None other than this opportunity where we have spent last almost 2 months in completing the internship with the young minds. And I'm very delighted to share the experience that we had with them. Let me just quickly brief about the FSM. This is something we have started almost way back in 2017, and we come to know about the different initiatives by different governments has already started, different countries have already started. So there are really a completely different focus on manufacturing, and everybody is getting prepared for this upcoming revolution. So most of the countries have announced their programs. That's how Indian government has also announced an initiative in terms of the Samarth Udyog. The main intent is basically to make our own manufacturing more competitive in the world, and then we should be working more collaboratively with the machines. This foundation, as Samiksha has explained, we created this Common Engineering Facility Center under this Samarth Udyog mission of the Government of India. The idea behind this mission is basically to bring people in academics to work along with the industry, because the challenge that we look forward for the smart manufacturing implementation can't be done in isolation. This ecosystem has to be built up. So we have our technology partners who come forward, share our vision, and co-create this foundation with us. I also try to bring out various interdisciplinary domains in IIT Delhi. So various specialization available with us at IIT Delhi has to be brought together when we think about implementing smart manufacturing. Certainly a good support from the ministry is always encouraging for us. So not just a technology partners. When we think about smart manufacturing, certainly we are thinking about a much bigger ecosystem to be developed. So if you just look around this slide, we would like to bring out all stakeholders together to work with us. And starting from a technology partner, certainly our system integrators, they can be further playing the role of a digital manufacturing integrators, digital business architects. Our skill partners are very important to play an important role over here. In fact, whatever activity we are doing is a part of the imparting the skills only. Process innovation partners, machine builders, end users, those who are really running the factory and dealing with the day-to-day problems in manufacturing domain, they also has to be brought into this ecosystem so that whatever development we are doing, they will be beneficiary out of that. Educational partners are again very important, as we all understand the role of a human resource in this domain, and we want that our young engineers should also get familiar with the new developments happening in the domain of smart manufacturing. They should get trained so that they will be the people who will be implementing this kind of technologies in next almost 10-15 years or so. And certainly the different CSR initiatives by different organizations to support this initiative. So without building this ecosystem, it's very difficult to think about a vision that we all are looking at for increasing the contribution of manufacturing in our GDP. As a Samarth Udyog, we have a common shared goal. So there are many more centers coming up now. We already have 4 centers started with us. So our intent is basically to build in a good awareness. In the last 4 years, that is what we witnessed. When we started this journey, I think these kind of events are not so popular and known. So we have put a lot of effort in building the awareness about the Industry 4.0. We also try to train people who could be playing a role of a master trainers, because whatever FSM is doing today is not good enough, or is not sufficient basically to train so many people within the country. So we look forward that more and more people from academics and industry should join us and then get trained as a master trainer, so that we will be able to scale up this initiative. We also like to build up a good partnership or ecosystem with the startups and incubators, because whatever technologies we are building in our labs has to be scaled up and implemented into the industry. So that requires a good ecosystem of startups coming forward, taking challenges in the technology implementation for manufacturing, and then taking it to the solution and the product phase. As a part of our initiative, certainly we would like to work more closely with the SMEs, handholding them, helping them in prototyping their solutions in our lab, and finally that can be deployed into their factory so that they will be able to take the advantage of these technologies. So we are certainly doing some part of that activity and looking forward more to grow in coming years. Another initiative FSM is looking forward and already started doing, that is the collaboration with the neighborhood universities. And the idea behind that is again training the students during their undergraduate itself, and some of the master program can also be evolved, where these kind of learnings which we have developed in recent years should be transferred into their curriculum, and they will be getting trained during their 4-year program or the 2-year master's program as well. We will be building, as I was mentioning, the different partners to come forward. So some kind of a membership model for the sustainability of this kind of facility, and playing an active role with the government also in building up this platform for Industry 4.0. Certainly, we all talking about the sustainability, so the e-waste management is also an important part of that. And we will be involving different manufacturing clusters, basically, of the capital goods as much as possible, so that whatever learning we are doing in Samarth Udyog Center should be able to reach out to them. So these are all goals and objectives being defined for us for this FSM, and we are all working in that direction. So in past, we have done various activities to do the awareness, doing the prototyping, starting our consulting services, doing job work for the startups and MSMEs. We are doing a lot of research, because these kind of technology development cannot be just done based on the imported solutions. We have to strengthen our human resource, our research scholars, basically, to develop indigenous solutions, so that we can bring out the cost of implementation as well, which is very much required by the industry today. And then the remaining efforts in the direction of the enabling people to learn these solutions and then implement in the industry. So we have already done a lot of education and training programs, and looking forward for more skill-oriented programs with the skill councils. In the past, whatever activities we have done, we are already created an awareness and reach out to the more than 10,000 people. So these all statistics is based on our YouTube channel access, how people have done that. We have already more than 3,000 people registered on our skills platform. And I think those who have done the internship, they've already gone through that learning on this. We have successfully executed quite a good amount of projects in all these technology domains in FSM. We have started this online internship, and that was a very good experience last year. And we carry forward the same momentum this year as well. So in total, we have almost, I should say, the interns who have completed successfully these project-based internship in the manufacturing domain or the smart manufacturing is more than 150 people. Apart from the level 1 is even more, actually. So I'm just talking about who successfully completed all the levels of learning as well as implemented the projects. We already have many courses being developed right now and available on the FSM skills in the domain of smart manufacturing. And our facility is being visited by more than 200 people. And we are running some of the special focus program for some of the corporates and industry. So if we talk about the technologies in terms of smart manufacturing, this is a very big landscape of these technologies. And certainly those who are very keen to implement smart manufacturing or learn smart manufacturing has to understand these keywords, the technology behind them, and how to put them together to solve manufacturing challenges. So we keep on doing a lot of experiments and research around these technologies. Most of the interns being exposed to some of these technologies, and they have been playing an important role in implementing the projects, whatever being given to them. In terms of facility, because these internship, because this time we have attempted at least some of the offline internship also being offered. Last year, it was completely online only. So we have a very good facility in terms of the infrastructure where these students can come and work with us on the various projects that we are doing. So this is one of the cyber physical assembly line at FSM. And we also have a cyber physical factory that's in a small micro production system being developed as a part of this initiative, where we try to bring out an old and new machines to put together into one factory environment, all get connected. We will be receiving the data from these machines and able to implement the use cases around these technologies, what I was mentioning. So as a part of learning, we are already doing these kind of training courses apart from the internship. Just for your information, I think Samiksha will give you more information later in the courses. Our idea behind this initiative is that because today we are talking more about the human resource and manpower getting trained. So if you see, this is one of the screenshot captured from a report that is being built by a company in US. This is more on the job roles taxonomy. What kind of job roles are coming in future actually? So as an engineers or as an academician, we rarely heard about these kind of job roles in the market till we start working in this domain. So that is the same with all of you, those who are studying right now and those who are faculty in the various institutes. Now these kind of challenges will be coming for us to get the people trained. So people are looking forward for these kind of responsibilities in terms of more digital enterprises oriented, all roles required for implementing the digital design, digital manufacturing, how to implement the digital threads, more digital products to be developed. So now we can see that the profiles are asking for a machine learning specialist, factory automation engineer to some extent are already known, but we can see that more collaborative robotics specialists. So more specialized jobs in the smart manufacturing are coming up actually. So this is one of the job roles statistic that are the roles that I picked up from a Capital Goods Skill Council, and we are happy to have Mr. Chandramouli today with us, who is playing in a very important role in this Capital Goods Skill Council. So we have now we need to understand these job roles actually. So it's just not a mechanical engineer or electronics and communication engineer or a computer science engineer. We want to have people get trained specifically on these kind of job roles. We look forward for smart mechatronics engineer, digital factory automation engineer. So just our automation is not enough today. We need to develop a curriculum, and then certainly the people who get specialized training in these domains, and that is what the industry is looking forward today. So I'm not going to read the whole list, but these are the opportunities available for our young engineers today. Even those who are already doing some kind of practice in the industry, they can also upskill themselves into some of these new job roles. So if you see that, what I look forward, if you think about excellence in the manufacturing, unless we change the perception about manufacturing, that is very important, because as an academician, as a student and faculty, we always see that our first interaction with the manufacturing start from our first year of engineering itself. So we are not that happy in learning those manufacturing technologies. We are always be more excited in learning the soft technologies, just like in programming, computing, and other things. But if we have to make an impact in and build up in a manufacturing excellence, we certainly have to change the perception about manufacturing in early engineering years, because then only we will be able to realize the dream of getting a manufacturing economy being built actually. So let me just give you an idea about that. Today, what engineers get, on which platform engineers are getting trained on. I'm sure that most of you can understand this very well. This is the kind of a factory environment where our engineers are getting trained today. So if you can look at this, it's a machine shop, foundry shop, sheet metal shop, blacksmithing. I'm sure that all of us have done manufacturing learning through this first year course itself. These all technologies are as old as Industry 2.0, if you can look around. So most of these, the basic manufacturing processes are that old. And what we are expecting today, our people to work in the environment like this. So we want our engineers to work in this new environment of Industry 4.0. We have industrial robots, collaborative robots, autonomous mobile robots around that, new laser cutting processes, machining process, CNC process. So see the environment which required a shift today. The learning environment and the first experience of manufacturing is very important for all students actually. So that is what I just want to bring this message today. To excel in manufacturing especially, there's a very strong need to redefine the complete manufacturing learning. And that is what our emphasis and initiative are towards building this kind of an ecosystem. So how we can create a lot of interest among the young minds to spend more time and energy and build up a passion for do more manufacturing oriented learning. So if you look forward for the action plan, how we can do that collectively, I'm just saying that collectively we need to upgrade and modernize our basic manufacturing learning infrastructure. Certainly the kind of setup I have shown in terms of various shops in most of the engineering institutions, they're already there. But we need to upgrade them, and then we have to bring out to a level of that the smart manufacturing learning can also be done on a similar infrastructure. We have to update our manufacturing curricula. That is very important, because beyond basic manufacturing processes, now whatever job roles I was mentioning about in the coming years, and then this kind of technology should also be included to some extent into the current manufacturing curricula. And most of the universities are doing that kind of a revision today. Another important thing, apart from just basic fundamental learning about these manufacturing process, we have to engage young minds to solve more manufacturing problems. And our experience was excellent in this direction, because whoever comes to FSM for the internship, maybe for the 2 months or maybe for 6 months, we always put them and giving them a challenges to solve. So certainly it's a learning for both of us. We are also learning in this domain. And then once we put forward for a kind of a challenging problem to the young minds, I found their dedication is very high. They are able to spend their energy to solve those challenges. And that is the outcome that we are going to discuss today, how they have successfully completed the more industrial problems within a very short span of the time. The way forward that I can see when we continue these kind of initiatives, we all have to accept that our manufacturing industries are undergoing a big transformation. Some of them are already started this journey 2-3 years back. Some of them are already doing this kind of an implementation. And I am sure that by the time our engineers are getting ready and then going to play an important role, these all industries are going to be more digital enterprises in coming 5 years or so, or even less than that. So we have to accept that this industry has to undergo the transformation, and we have to upskill ourselves to be more prepared and ready for playing our role into these industries. Now, this is a very important aspect when we think about smart manufacturing, the kind of technologies I was showing to you. The important message is that manufacturing domain knowledge should always precede over all discipline specific learning. So if you see that, if we think about IoT, if we talk about machine learning, if we talk about AR, at the core, the manufacturing domain knowledge is always required. And that is something we would like to communicate most of the time to the engineers coming from a different discipline than mechanical engineering, because they didn't get so much exposure to the manufacturing processes as such, or the machine tools as such. It's very important. Whatever technology you will be using today, if you are not having a good understanding of a manufacturing processes or the machine tool where you are going to apply that. For example, we are talking about the CPS, we are talking about the IoT and machine learning deployment. Unless you understand a robotics, unless you understand the robotic welding or kind of an assembly cell or maybe the CNC machine, if you're not understanding the core manufacturing operations, then it's very challenging to deploy any of these technologies to a greater extent, and you will not be able to get a fruitful results out of that. So manufacturing domain knowledge should always be required. So those who are in mechanical, they have to gather the additional learning for the new technologies. Those who are already into that domain of a data sciences, AI, and then maybe the electronics, they need to capture some of the manufacturing domain knowledge as well, because smart manufacturing certainly more interdisciplinary, and we look forward that people have to now cross this boundary of a domain or just in a discipline specific learning. We have to come together to build this learning and an ecosystem where the engineer understand the manufacturing processes as well as he understand the new technologies so that he can solve those challenges. Now, so the journey starts like this. We always start with a basic awareness. Slowly we will be gathering more knowledge about that. So certainly we have crossed beyond awareness in this kind of an internship program. We have taken the people or the students beyond the awareness. So we have given them a right knowledge. So level 1 and level 2 learning is a kind of a knowledge imparting that we have done. After you finish that level 1 and 2 knowledge and an understanding about various technologies, we have taken them to the third level of getting implementation, some experience of implementing these technologies, so that you later deliver some solutions for the manufacturing problems. So these 3 layers has already been covered in this training program or the internship program. Certainly based on their interest, if they spend more time in learning, they could be moving towards being expert in this domain. So another important challenge we all have to collectively address is developing more indigenous products and solutions, because today, whatever we are doing in a smart manufacturing, certainly trying to integrate whatever is the hardware and software solutions or options are available to us. So we can make it working, but certainly it's not a viable option for most of the MSMEs and other industries. We can only bring down the cost of these technologies and make it more affordable to our industry by doing a research and development and ourselves. So we have to build more indigenous solutions. I think that is what the message keep coming from the top leadership. Also, we need to become more Atmanirbhar, and then we will be developing all these technologies in-house actually. So we have to focus more on the research, because even the undergraduate student should also be look forward for that kind of opportunity, where understanding the basic technology is one part, how we can transform that learning into a more affordable products and the solutions, so that we can scale up the implementation of smart manufacturing to a large number of industries. So these are the way forwards we are looking forward, and some of these are the challenges we all are working together, and certainly look forward for your role to be there in this journey. Thank you so much. That's all a quick overview, and that's what I understand about the challenges in the smart manufacturing to be taken care of collectively together. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your views and giving direction to us. Now, going forward, I would like to introduce FSM skills with you. Here at FSM, we aim at education and training, research and development solution. We aim at developing a holistic educational curriculum and skill building program through a vibrant incubation and administrative environment. Short-term education and training courses are available at Moodle platform of FSM. It is a holistic platform designed for providing immersive training experience through live lectures, online learning, live demonstrations, live lab, and self-paced exercises on remotely accessible actual hardware. Here, I would like to show a short video how a user can go to FSM skill website, and after logging in, he can access the courses, as we have eligibility criteria depend on the type of course we offer. So after getting registered to FSM skills, the user will be able to access the course when he is enrolled into it. So you can see here in this video, the user can log into FSM skills by filling a registration form. After registration and post-enrollment, the course will be getting reflected on the user dashboard like this. User can also access the course through mobile app. Moving forward, I would like to introduce Mr. Ravi Agarwal as a speaker. Ravi sir will be guiding us over the topic, integrating the concept of Industry 4.0 in manufacturing industries. Mr. Ravi Agarwal is currently functioning as the Managing Director for Pepperls and Fush, Factory Automation, and looking after business in the Middle East and India. He is the former president of the Automation Industry Association. Mr. Agarwal is director to FSM, IITD-AIA Foundation for Smart Manufacturing, and IIT Delhi, associated with the field of process and manufacturing automation for many years. Mr. Agarwal has earlier worked with Industrial Design and Development Center at IIT Delhi and with ABB. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Samiksha. Quick check on the audio, and a very good morning to all of you. Adding to what Dr. Jha has already shared with all of us is a difficult task. I have been asked to share my views on integration of I4 concepts into the manufacturing. But let me start by saying that what FSM is actually working on is already not short of a revolution. Why I say so is, literally speaking, a revolution is a very big step change. It can be evolution remains a rather slow process, whereas revolution is the same change, but in a very short span of time. So congratulations, Dr. Jha, on this nearly 360 degrees of intervention for how to soft land but accelerate the adoption of Industry 4 concepts into manufacturing. Now, Industry 4.0 is already a term, a coinage, that has been given to what may happen to manufacturing or is already starting to happen with manufacturing. It remains that a lot of communication, data, analysis, etc. come together and create this revolution. So allow me to also introduce a similar or a more lucid concept, which is information-driven manufacturing. Now, if we know what to do, then it's easier to be done and it gets done fast. If we are into information-driven manufacturing, then at least if we are able to visualize what is happening with our processes, machines, input, quality, output, decisions become easier, faster, quicker to implement. And I would say that all integrates as information-driven manufacturing. In fact, human beings as we are, the commercial world actually starts to, I would say, articulate how and what we manufacture. But let me start by actually giving an analogy on how information-driven society actually starts to behave, improve, and take the best of the contemporary. A very simple example of that might remain those of you who would visualize or have had booking of railway reservations or seats prior to computerization. So if all the work is manual, the visualization absent, it's a mammoth task. Today, we are able to pick out a seat in a train in a jiffy, and the visualization gets improved day by day. How many options, what kind of availability, what kind of pricing. Same for the banking, I need not expound more on it. But if the same revolution is actually introduced in the industry, what a wonderful world would it be? That means whatever is happening on the shop floor, how my machines are behaving, if the same thing gets expounded and clear, what a different and a beautiful world of manufacturing it would be. In fact, it's no more a choice, it's a compulsion. Because if we as society have to manufacture goods with the quantity, the quality, and the variety which our society is getting used to, is demanding, is actually already having privilege to, then it's nothing short of revolution in manufacturing, which is aided, I would say, by information, or in short, or in other terms, Industry 4.0. But in order to do that, we need, I would say, people, we need equipment, and we need the knowledge. Somehow in this, as Dr. Jha was very nicely explaining how revolution, manual state of the industry is, we might think it as a liability. Are we falling behind in India with the advent of those manufacturing concepts as largely are visible elsewhere in the world? Highly connected manufacturing, seamless supply chains, good goods in, goods out, and work in progress visualization. It may also be a chance that if you have to deal with that kind of quantity, quality, and variety, information-driven manufacturing and automation in manufacturing actually go together. So we today in India are actually having yet another opportunity that without having to go through the painful and costly affair of manufacturing with automation and then upgrading automation in a large paraphernalia and layout of our manufacturing. Today, as we automate our factory and also look for interconnection and data-driven machine equipment, it's a leapfrog, I would say, from largely manual or semi-automatic to about automatic and information-driven manufacturing. But in order to do that, we have to create the right, I would say, workforce, people, and endow them with the right knowledge. And I would say this is a very, very opportune time when projects and institutions like FSM are becoming or to become the part of the ecosystem of manufacturing in India, because equipment for advanced manufacturing is not in short supply. The whole world actually is offering that to India. But what to choose, how to install, and how to run, I think this is the need of the hour, and this is also the opportunity of the hour. Then I would like to mention that there are two approaches on that. One is a good sensitization and awareness towards manufacturing concepts of Industry 4.0, IIoT, as you might say it, in a general approach, how things are done, how data is handled, how data is made more secure, how visualizations are done, how latencies are reduced. Having done that, there is no panacea, there is no single capsule, which if taken, we can become masters of advanced manufacturing or smart manufacturing. Having addressed the foundational aspects, I would say, domain-specific knowledge starts to take the roots, because there cannot be a single master for every other task in smart or information-driven manufacturing. But I would say it's rather to be taken in two-step processes, a general sensitization and ground-based knowledge, and then domain-specific knowledge where a lot of, if you would say, data crunching, AI, artificial intelligence would come in, where you can improve the processes, improve the quality, do deep learning, create research, and the ground is rife with it. There's so many opportunities, innumerable, which actually come back, loop back, and aid back the manufacturing. So to those of you who are aspirants of it, I would say, beyond the foundational knowledge, if domain-specific knowledge is also garnered, that will do good for prospective careers in advanced manufacturing, in Industry 4.0, can actually be a very, very strong steroid into manufacturing in India. Having said that, FSM, I would say, is doing a wonderful job in both these aspects. There are so many programs running with the foundational knowledge and creation of the right mindset and sensitization. And my congratulations to Dr. Jha and team, who are delving right into the domain-specific knowledge, analysis of data, so that actually not only do we inspire others, but create solutions within the Indian manufacturing system and offer technologies and handholding for the betterment of the concept, its correct imbibing and advancement of our whole ecosystem. So I congratulate FSM, congratulate the participants, and wish to work with you all for the next steps. Thank you. Over to you, Samiksha.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your thoughts. Now I would like to show a virtual tour of FSM. So this is a very important part of our event, the virtual tour to FSM and our implementation. So just get into a sneak into this video to know about what FSM and some of its projects.
So I'll quickly explain some of the things that you may be seeing on the screen. So this is one of the AR integration that we are showing for a lathe machine that students can learn around. We have created some of the AR applications that you can see over here. Some of the new developments using AR and robotics put together. So this is one of the demonstrations we have recently created in our lab. We are using AR, you can visualize the controls of a robot, and we will be able to manipulate the robot functions by using AR. This is one of the good development in the domain of collaborative working with the machines. So using an AR, you will be able to get some kind of an direction that you can give it to the machines, and machine will understand that communication and implement it. So this is just an initial building block for developing that kind of a collaborative applications. So that we have shown in this particular example. So you can just use AR, open up the application, and then through that you will be able to control the machine. Is another interesting IoT application that we build. It's in a cafe FSM. So you can place your order through your mobile application, and then through IoT, it will be captured and it will be controlling a complete coffee machine using that whatever preference you have given. And just for excitement, there's a fun project that done by the interns in the lab itself. They just program the collaborative robot and AMR to deliver the coffee to you on your table. So just an experience. So apart from a basic core learning, you can see there are a lot of fun activities. All interns are those who are working in the lab. They keep on enjoying in FSM. Thanks a lot. Just want to add on whatever you are looking at the screen. Thank you. Over
Thank
to you,
you so much,
Samiksha.
sir. So now I would like to introduce the moderator to the panel discussion, Mr. Anup Wadhwa. And the discussion is on the topic of how is technology empowering job aspirants in manufacturing sector. We have other panelists also, Mr. Himanshu Sharma from Lumex and Mr. A.N. Chandramouli from ANCM Management Consultant. Mr. Wadhwa is an alumnus of IIT Delhi, from where he has completed his bachelor degree in technology in electrical and electronics in 1975. His passion for digital electronics started in college and later took him to an exciting career in the field of industrial automation. Mr. Wadhwa has served in BHEL as a premier public sector company, Rockwell Automation, a leading technology MNC, and SAMTEL, currently responsible for creating the Samarth Udyog ecosystem, bringing in automation industry, machine builders, IT, COS, integrators, and academia. Now I would like to introduce Mr. Himanshu Sharma, who has joined us as a panelist. Mr. Sharma is an industrial engineer from Nagpur University, passed out in 1996. He is a Six Sigma Black Belt and certified TPM facilitator from TPM Club of India. Mr. Sharma started his career at Hindustan Unilever Limited and was responsible for inventory management and operations in ACC Siemens for 8 years. Currently working as group head from manufacturing excellence for Lumex Group, and has been instrumental in winning 7 JIPM TPM awards from JIPM Japan. We have another panelist from the event, Mr. A.N. Chandramouli, the top management profile with a demonstrated history over 36 years working in multiple industry domains, including consumer durables, electrical switchgear, industrial refrigeration, and machine tools. Now established his own management consultancy for coaching, mentoring, advisory, training in joint ventures, strategic alliances, B2B marketing, high value selling, negotiations, business development, quality management, operational excellence, MSME clusters, Indian Industry 4.0, aerospace, and precision engineering, and strategic analysis. Highly networked professional with several industry bodies such as IMTMA, CII, BCIC, and QCFI, qualified with a Master of Business Administration from Indian Institute of Management, Calcutta, and Mechanical Engineering from NIT, Tiruchirappalli. So over to you, Anup sir.
Thank you, Samiksha. And It was nice that you were able to show some glimpses of the FSM facility. Uh, as the audience would have noticed, the facility is not just an academic lab. It is built out of machines and components which are industrial grade. So this is one of those rare laboratories in a college which is 100% compliant with the expectations of industry. The software tools which were also shown are softwares which are licensed from companies which give exactly the solution and service to the industry in India and abroad. So that is a very small example of a global center of excellence which has been by AIA and IIT under the guidance of Mr. Agarwal and Professor Jha. In this panel discussion, broaden the discussion a little more beyond FSM and take it to the level of the entire country, because as an ecosystem, do all over, not just in the IITs, is what really makes the big difference. So most of us are aware that Industry 4.0 was coined in Germany and it spread in different avatars from US, Japan, China, and now has come into India. But the original purpose of the creators, of the thought leaders, was how to ensure manufacturing competitiveness of the factories all around the world and also be able to compete with the low-cost labor which was coming from China and India. They chose was very practical. It's made common sense. Let us focus on reducing the waste reduction. And also let us ensure that our people are happy and they stay with the industry. So let's look at reducing their work burden, eliminating the worry on a day-to-day basis. So whether you call it information-based management or whether you call it cyber-physical integration, the objectives are very, very simple and every human being can relate to that. Every businessman can relate to that. Last week, we had the fortune to the industry minister, doyens of industry, and we were also given a message by Prime Minister Modi saying that today India is positioned to take a leadership position in Industry 4.0. And he meant that for the first time in our history, the demography and the decisive governance has all come together at the same point in time. So we are now at a point of Amrit, which has also been spoken about in the beginning of the program, where nature is favoring us with all the factors. Drop. I would now like to ask the industry peers present on this panel. And as you have noticed, both of them are doyens of the industry. Mr. Mauli brings in not only the experience of being in corporate world, but post that he has played a very in various bodies like the chambers of industries, on government advisory panels. And when you hear him, you will know that as a person, he is so passionate, he can get up from sleep and give you a lecture on Industry 4.0. We also have Mr. Himanshu Sharma, who, while today is in the automotive the industry of note, but he has also brought in his experience in the consumer goods industry and in one of the infrastructural areas like cement. So I will pick their brains and ask them some questions and they will respond, and hopefully we will be able to make value out of the opportunity which lies ahead. My first question is to you, Mr. Chandramouli. Is in your conversation with your industry peers, is there a current thinking which is aligned with the opportunity what is, and what do you think would be the India relevant purpose of Industry 4.0? And also if you can share some of these actions which you are aware which are being taken by people in the industry.
Thank you, Mr. Wadhwa. I hope my audio is clear, sir.
Yes, it's okay. Please continue.
Okay. I have a very poor Wi-Fi now. I think it's a very important question what you raised. I think before the pandemic, my industry colleagues, we had many sessions, seminars, symposiums, discussions, etc., etc. You know, all the chambers were driving it. But before the pandemic, they said, okay, Industry 4.0 is nice to have kind of thing. But my own experience in talking to them and my own indulgence in some of these real customers is during the pandemic, they said it is no more nice to have, but it is a kind of a must-have situation. I thought it is only a global phenomenon, but even in India, to hear that from some of the large OEMs and large tier 1 companies, especially in the automobile industry, has been a very encouraging note. Having said that, the flip side of it, they said they have a shortage of manpower to understand smart manufacturing, to understand the technology side, the application side, the business use case, as we call it, as a value of applying this. There is a huge shortage. In my own small network I have, I found a maximum around 10 to 20 experts in this country who can talk with a kind of a confidence, like, you know, similar to Dr. Sunil Jha, on the topic itself. Not to speak of the hands-on skills that you're all developing is another big shortage. So some of the national skill institutions I'm working closely with, we constantly debate how do we bridge this shortage. So it's a great thing that today you are having this webinar, and I can tell you the students, more than 100 people have joined, as well as the executives from the industry will find a very exciting opportunity that industry is looking for, employing such people, both freshers as well as experienced people. But I think it will take another 5 years to really claim somebody as experience on this particular topic. But right now, the academia is doing a brilliant work. Samarth Udyog is doing fantastic work in filling up the shortages. So basically, I'm making 2 points. There is a great awareness and motivation on the part of industry. At the same time, there is a crying need to fulfill the shortages. And a third point related to that, the same industry is also mentioned that MSMEs in tier 2 and tier 3, I'm not referring to tier 1 MSMEs, but tier 2, tier 3, they find an uphill task because of the weak foundation and operational excellence in that category of sector in general, and lack of conviction of coming to the business value arising from these technologies. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Chandramouli, for touching upon these important aspects. So, Mr. Sharma was a tier 1 supplier, but you also have to deal with this kind of skill shortage, which Mr. Chandramouli spoke about. In order to attract skills, and especially the young talent, is the manufacturing changed over the last few years? While we can talk about all the esoteric technology, but ultimately it's the total package which an employee is looking a manufacturing culture, a leadership, as well as an opportunity to experiment and have these fun games like playing around with cobots. So where is your own company and in the industry around which you are connected with?
Thank you, Mr. Vadva. And I fully agree with Chandramouli ji about what he said about upskilling. In our industry, like if you see, this industry of automotives, it has seen a rapid change of technology from being a traditional assembly lines to now an automated assembly lines. And now the collaboration or the need of Industry 4.0 is becoming more and more stringent because of the competitive players which are coming from other countries whose productivities and rejections are a bit in lower side with the higher quality ratios. Looking at these requirements, and even if we see our consumer is also very educated now, and they know the litigities of qualities in every product what we are seeing in the market. Now, if we see to cater that, we had a very acute shortage of skilled engineers who can control the process, who can upgrade the process, and who can do improvements on this process. And while doing all this, we also need to integrate this existing process with Industry 4.0. As Mr. Ravi had already said, that now we are moving towards information-based manufacturing. So to extract that information from machines, we have given a prototypes of these machines to our engineers so that they can do experiments, and we welcome mistakes. We welcome mistakes. We also award mistakes. Means, like if he is doing mistakes, at least he is doing some experiments on it so that whatever mistake has happened, that would be learned from it. And then he can improve upon it. That is one part. Second part, we have collaborations also. Like we are pure suppliers to our OEMs, that is original equipment manufacturers, let it be Toyota, let it be Maruti Suzuki or Honda. They are also having good learning platforms with them. They get those platforms either from their original countries like Japan or in Europe. So they have also built up their training centers into their premises. And what we are promoting, we are giving incentive to our engineers to participate in their curriculum, so that they also learn about the adaptive technology, what OEMs are doing to improve our productivity, rejections, as well as the technology. And we also form a tree formation, like if a person, we are nominated design engineers to our Stanley Japan, where we are having technological collaborations for 2 years. They go learn, and then they come and work as a mentors to other new engineers, so that they are also getting benefited of that skill upgradation. That is how we move forward. Other institutions like college and all those things, we are also participating in that. That's all from my side.
Okay. I just like to give you, one more question just for you to complete your story. Dr. Jha had flashed some job roles, which which probably opened as well. How are you seeing the Indian industry relate to these emerging job roles? Because questions we keep getting asked is, have you tested this out with the employers? Are they actually wanting it? And we FSM would obviously want the starting point to be a proper and accurate definition coming from the side of the employer. So what do you think is the status of these job roles? I know there are skill councils and and Mr. Chandramouli will cover this aspect. But if there are only 20 experts in the country who understand what Industry 4.0, my worry is who is in the job role, because these people have to all be in the industry. They cannot be in the academia.
So very good question, Bhadwa sir. I would like to just touch upon the type of competition now the market is having. If you see in before COVID, we used to see a two-wheeler bike models coming in every year. Now, if you see the market, in the market, you will see that four-wheeler cars are coming in every 2 months. A new model is coming. So what is happening? This change in this market scenario, the flexibility of manufacturing is becoming more and more critical. And what I mean to say the flexibility of manufacturing means we need to be very dynamic on the front of our manufacturing upgradation and also our design upgradation. Now, what Mr. Jha had already said about the roles of smart manufacturing, he has also touched upon some of the aspects of designing in the roles. Now, these roles, if we compete with the players like Toyota, or you can say Honda or Volkswagen, they are well equipped with the concepts of 4.0, or even they are now started talking about industry 5.0. Now 5.0 is another big brother of industry 4.0, and unless until our industry 2.0 or 3.0 is not basically strengthened, we are not going to you can say sustain on industry 4.0 or 5.0. So all the roles, like he said about digital quality metrology engineer, digital twin simulation and modeling engineer, IoT and smart sensor technologies, these are the upcoming windows which are very, very necessarily required for meeting this flexibility in the market. And today's engineers can choose upon their interest set to make their career into it, and these are going to be a game changer for the industry. That is what I feel. And even industry is also supporting the engineers who are coming up with their interest on specific core niche areas.
Okay. Now, if you allow me to strike the iron when it's hot, and this question is more on behalf of the young aspirants, the engineers who are on this panel listening to us. Mr. Chandramouli, at the end of the day, the engineers will go where the big bucks are. So if industry has to attract the kind of talent which Mr. Sharma is talking about, and make the Indian compete with the global leaders, where is the salary increase going to come from? That's one of the questions. A related question to you is what the engineers should do while they're still in college. What are the particular aspects of growth they should look at to be able to fit into this requirement and reap the benefits in their careers?
I think you truly hit the iron when it is hot. We are in an inflex point, Vadvaji, where we should not miss the bus. neither from the industry side, nor from academia side, nor from the student side. I'm making this point because working very closely with the national body of skill institutions, I did a research on the pay or the salary, which I believe is one of the major root causes of the attraction to certain branches of science in the last and engineering over the last 20 years. You know which branch I'm alluding to. A major evolution or revolution is happening on the pay scales in the manufacturing domain. My study showed with real data that when the foundational engineering branch, like mechanical engineering or electronics engineering and electronics and communication at that, or electrical engineering or instrumentation engineering, and I would also add industrial engineering and production engineering to this bucket. If a student is coming out of any one of these 5 topics I talked about, he enters the average salary across India, the research shows, is 25,000 rupees plus benefits at the entry point. This is zero experience, a fresh student, 3 lakhs. I'm talking the average. The IITs may be at certain salary, the NITs may be at certain salary, the leading non-NITs may be at certain salary, but I'm talking about the average. However, a branch like mechatronics engineering, a branch like robotics and automation engineering, and similar topics, which also now one more college has introduced at the undergraduate level, advanced manufacturing topic, not just the post-graduation. And I found at the entry point, the salary levels of these students from the campus interview is at an average of 40,000 per month, as against 25,000 per month, which I mentioned. And the range is skewed towards 80,000 per month for these courses, which I call multidisciplinary courses. A mechatronics typically is not only mechanical, but electronics, but electrical, and I add instrumentation engineering to that. So in the new education policy, the higher technology institutions are reimagining, and they got freedom to do so by the government also, AICTE and other bodies, to create and curate such curriculum. This is the first point. The second point to the aspiration of the students vis-a-vis the IT industry. Now my secret is out, no more alluding. And the operational technology, which alludes to the manufacturing and the shop floor. If you look at the shop floor to the top floor, which is the typical course curriculum of Dr. Job, namely the architecture of Industry 4.0 from the shop floor to the top floor, creating the visibility and transparency to the management at all the time, requires from the student point of view an integration of IT and OT. And I humorously call it as the IoT. But of course, IoT is the Internet of Things. But when this integration happens, the student gets an opportunity to do the software development for the shop floor, and thereafter going up to the cloud and to the dashboard, which is created for measurement of KPIs, key performance indicators, which means at the entry level, the hierarchy is broken and the student gets a decentralized power to influence the organization. He can influence the organization because he has got only 2 more levels to report to. The modern organizations is not like my 1979 when I started my career with 20 levels from general manager, not even talking about MD, general manager to the management trainee. Today, in tier 1 companies, in OEM maybe 4 levels, MSME just 2 levels, in which case he has got the ability to influence not only decision making, but also the solving of the critical and complex problems. So I think, to cut the long story short, the salaries are better with multidisciplinary. The IT-OT integration makes the attractiveness of the IT is now moving towards the attractiveness of the manufacturing. And number 3 is able to contribute to the organization even within 1 year, not to speak of what can happen accelerated over the 5 years. So I feel there is a very good case for students to look at the attractiveness of the new industry. And I think truly Dr. Jha and all of you are doing a fantastic job by simply adding the adjective smart manufacturing. One of the questions that come in the text box, difference between digital and smart, we'll address it later. But the digital stroke smart manufacturing stroke advanced manufacturing, all 3 put together, there are 45 job roles, fantastic job roles, which they guarantee them minimum 40,000 average salary at the entry point. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. That's like the bright side of Indian industry. And what I'm very happy is that you've very crystal clear guidance to the young aspirants where they should focus on in their learning program. Now let's turn back to the audience. We'll have a poll and I'll request Naman to place that before the audience, in which we are going to ask them just one question. Naman, can you put it up? And this is regarding the thirst people will have to sort of move up in the journey. So this is a multiple choice, but you can only answer what is relevant to you. Kindly have a look. I think this is going to be on for about 50 seconds. So if you have to undertake the journey, does your college or does your company have the necessary infrastructure to upgrade your skills in manufacturing? The poll has already started. Only the audience will participate. The hosts and panelists cannot vote. I assume the questions is very, very clear. The optional choices are also very clear. How are we doing on the audience poll, Naman? If you've got, you can close it or maybe wait for another 10-15 seconds and then give us the
last 10 seconds to close.
Okay, great.
Okay, so we are ending the poll now.
Okay. Show us the results. Okay, so the majority, 50% of the audience says that we do have some automation technology, but nothing in the other areas of smart manufacturing domain or the kind of stuff which Dr. Jha was alluding in the new skills. So that's pretty interesting. A lot of people have also said that they need to where to go. Well, you have seen FSM. Certainly, this is one organization you can start your journey with and then see where it takes you. And those them up, we can sort of also connect and see how we can share some of our learnings with you. And of the audience is already well equipped and they are Atmanirbhar on that. So that's a very nice reflection of where the audience stands. Now, before I conclude a panel discussion, let me ask in a very simple and straightforward fashion to each of the panelists to be the principal director of a 10x increase of this learning opportunity across India. What would be your 2 mantras to do that? Specific things which all of us could think about, and certainly FSM could also taking action on it. 2 mantras from each one of you. If you were directing a 10x expansion of this learning infrastructure, could you all answer that first?
Go ahead, Mr. Sharma.
So, thank you. So, if I would have been given this opportunity to multiply this learning curve, so first of all, what I would like to have a industry collaboration. Industry collaboration means what I discussed about the participation of ours with our OEMs and other multinational players to learn from them. That is one part. And I also would like to have a industry specific gurukuls, what we call in our industry that we have small gurukuls, and what we do, like we have a lighting industry for our domain. So lighting industry is having a similar gurukul, and even in past there were many collaborations with World Bank to promote skill development programs. That is one part. Second part, there should be a fire in the person himself to learn, to grow. So that also can be either incentivized or it can be promoted so that his career graph is also visible to him. If he develops these skills, what he will be in next 4 years or 5 years. Those are the 2 mantras what I would like to say.
Thank you. Your 2 mantras, Mr. Chandramouli.
Okay, sir. I think it's a very challenging question. There are many mantras, but I'll try to prioritize the top 2. One I will take on the demand side. Another I'll take on the supply side. Because if you have to multiply 10 times, that means accelerating program kind of thing, then we have to look at both of them. I think first is demand side. I can clearly see in the evidence of my interaction with various bodies and industries that there is excellent pull happening. Capgemini, along with FICCI, has made a prediction that there will be at least 1 million jobs requirement in the multiple areas and levels of Industry 4.0 domain. When I say levels and areas, I mean to say, starting with mechatronics, smart mechatronics. I would like to keep adding the word smart because this is the real world of Ola and Zomato. So the young engineers and the young students understand the benefit of the Ola and the Zomato on their app, on their smartphone. If the smartphone can be smart, I think the engineer also should become smart. And that alludes to the IoT. And therefore, smart mechatronics at the foundational level, smart automation at the next level, and the smart and digital manufacturing at the icing and the cake at the top level. A huge amount of revolution in the academia is happening and will happen. And I want to suggest that every engineering institution, including undergraduate, postgraduate, diploma, and ITIs, should join this revolution to create at least the nuggets of Industry 4.0, namely mechatronics to begin with, right? That is on the supply side mantra for multiplying 10x or even 100x, right? There are many colleges languishing in this country to attract students. I was told that some are closing down the traditional branches. Mechanical engineering, I want to rename it as smart mechanical engineering, right? For example, which alludes to, of course, mechatronics. Coming to the demand side, the mantra is creating a pull, both from the point of industry, as Sharmaji mentioned about upskilling. Upskilling activity is now happening on a war footing. The early bird companies which fell into this fray are TAFE in Bangalore, who started the journey in 2012, much before the Indian industry even talked about Industry 4.0. And then many other companies fell into the fray in the recent past, OEMs and Tier 1. And I think MSMEs are actively looking into it. And therefore, an upskilling activity pull should happen. And here my recommendation to FSM and to MHI is to create a hub and spoke model. I even made a proposal to FM Nirmala Sitharaman. Just take 30 seconds to explain that OEMs and tier 1 companies should drive the smart manufacturing not only for themselves captively, but also to the tier 2 and tier 3 and job shop companies supplying components to this. Whether you like it or not, 70 to 80% of Indian industry belongs to the automobile industry and partially to the capital goods manufacturing industry, which supports again the automobile industry and engineering industry. In which case, a huge potential lies in upskilling activity through a hub and spoke model. The funds are to be channelized by the government through the OEM to the tier 1 and tier 2, tier 3, where the track and traceability is happening already for improving quality and delivery. But the last but not the least, the third mantra, with your permission, sir, is the integrating bodies of Indo-German Tool Room, Central Institute for Tool Development, CITD, Indo-Danish Tool Room, Indo-Swiss Chamber of Commerce, Bangalore Chamber of Industry and Commerce, the skill institutions of Samarth Udyog, the finishing schools of centers of excellence across several colleges, including associations like IMTMA. I can go on and on and on and on. Including Makino, Toyota, and Bosch technology training institutions. I call them as finishing schools, which integrate the fundamentals of education with the higher technical institutions and the upskilling activity. So this is a beautiful collaboration happening. The third mantra is every college and every institution should have multiple centers of excellence. Dr. K.N. Subramania is a doyen in this. Nationally, I think the maximum centers of excellence exist in RV College of Engineering. Is neither an NIT nor an IIT. He is a good friend of mine in Bangalore. So the three mantras of acceleration in my opinion.
Thank you, sir. And I'm reminded of a statement one of the alumni from RV College made the other day. And what she said was, it's easier to connect machines, more difficult to connect people. So I would say from my side, just the single of connected people will help us in this journey, and we look forward to many more such interactions. My apologies, Samiksha, for having run out of. It's over to you once again. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Sharmaji.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I think Dr. George should take up some of the important questions. Otherwise, the audience may be disappointed.
Yeah, I was reading those questions and just finding a time.
You can reply it on the go in the text box. Or another 3 minutes you can take to reply them. Otherwise,
sure, I will certainly address that. Yeah, sure.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Chandramoli, Mr. Sharma, and Mr. Anup Vadva for addressing us over, briefing us on technology empowering the job aspirants in manufacturing. Now, to give a brief about the Journey Summer Internship Program, which we have started on June 1st, I would like to request Professor Sunil Jha to please take over.
Yeah, thank you, Samiksha. Yeah, sure. So in fact, what I was just briefing in my session that this online internship program that we started in 2021, coming out to a really very interesting program, and most of the students are applying for these internships are certainly outside IIT Delhi and even other IITs. But now we are getting few applications from other IITs as well. So certainly it's growing very well. I just like to give you an overview on the internship program. Next slide, please. So certainly we had created a very good learning platform in year 2021 and being limited only to the online, but still we are able to do a good projects with the students and some of them get a good recognition out of this internship. That's how we continue doing the same activity this year as well. And as because of the lot of information around about this internship, we again received a very good number of applications in the initial phase. Our principle to take them forward is always to let them understand what smart manufacturing is all about, and then focusing them and guiding them on a specific technology. No, just keep on the previous slide here. So in that case, we have taken them to the level 1 learning. That is basically giving them a complete overview of smart manufacturing. They should understand what exactly they are going to do in 2 months activity, what are all options are available, what all technologies are we are talking about, and how they are going to play the role in manufacturing. That's how level 1 learning is very important part of this internship, and 101 have already completed that. So it's really a good number to appreciate. And out of these 101, those who have selected to go forward and then decided that they will be implementing one of these technologies into the project. So level 2 is technology specific. So if I decided to work around IoT, I should go through a comprehensive learning in a short span of time to understand how to implement IoT. All that has been guided by our mentors as well as from FSM. They have been taken to the another level of learning the tools for implementing these technologies, and then out of that 61 have completed that part, and then only we will be offering the projects through them. So idea behind that, once you understand the smart manufacturing domain, once you understand the technology, how to implement, then you can select an appropriate project in that direction. And then out of those projects, we have done keep on guiding them how to take them to the completion, because certainly the time is not that big. At least they will get to exposure to what all technologies can be used, how they can be implemented. So with the guidance of the mentors, they are able to complete their projects to whatever extent they can do in the 2 months. And most of them are good exploratory projects, which our team at FSM continue working also beyond the internship. Then we have also, so out of this, we have already offered many projects from our understanding and the areas where we are working on right now with industry or for our internal development. So almost 18 projects have been offered in the different disciplines or different project domains. And then finally, we picked up which are the projects which are taken to the completion, and they have done a good work. So 16 projects finally picked up to make the presentation before a jury consider the industry representatives. And from there, we have chosen today to announce the 6 cash awards to the interns who qualify for this cash award and being identified by the industry jury members. So that's an overview. I'll just take you forward. These are the project domains that we have taken up. In the domain of augmented reality, digital twin, industrial automation, implementation of manufacturing execution systems. So most of these technology domains people are not familiar with when they come first time and applied for the FSM internship. So that is how we have taken them to the basic understanding through the level 1. So they'll at least get familiarity with these technologies, and based on their interest, then they picked up which area they want to work on. So industrial IoT, machine learning, and real-time dashboard robotics. And we have just listed some of the projects also. This information is available on IFSM website also. So you can just have a look at that, which all projects being offered last year and this year. So you get to know about that, which area we are working on. Next slide, yeah. I'm really thankful for all the jury members, those who are associated with FSM and then spend their time in evaluating and listening these projects done by the interns. So we have good representation of people from the industry, from MathsWorks, Deloitte, PTC, some of our own summer centers, CMTI and C4I4. Next slide. So leading people who are doing the implementation of these technologies in industry, certainly evaluating what level of the implementation these interns are doing. So Mr. Kalyan Ram from Electronos, Sandeep from Omron, Mr. Srinath from Mac Machine Tools and Automation, Mr. Sunil Mehta from Mitsubishi. So I'm really thankful for all of them. They have gone through the reports of the interns. They have listened to the presentations made by the interns, and thereafter we have selected the final cash awardees today. So I'll just going to announce the award that have been given, and first of all, I'll let you know who are all the shortlisted one, and then certainly who is the winner today. So industrial IoT implementation projects. Go to the next slide. So Deepak Pandey and Onkar Nigam are the two which are being nominated. So we have gone through the process of nomination by their mentors actually. So mentors are the one who are working in FSM and guiding these students on a daily basis. And finally, we identified Deepak Pandey as the winner for this cash award in the industrial IoT domain, and guided by mentor Ash Vishnu Kumar from FSM. Congratulations, Deepak. Next slide. Deepak, if you are around, are you in the meeting? Just let me know. Okay, may not be. Yeah. So I'll just brief about it. So he has implemented the project. Oh, yeah, it's already there. Yeah. Let me brief about the project, what he has done. So we are guiding him to build a digital interface or the operator interface for the robotic welding cell, so that what all critical parameters can be monitored in the robotic welding cell, how the data being captured from the different the protocols in the cell from the robotic system and from the welding system, and then use the IoT platform to build a UI for that. So this congratulations, Deepak. Yeah, next slide. Yeah. So he built all these interface understanding from how the data being captured and found finally how it can be displayed to the operator. Yeah. Next slide. So this is the robotic welding cell on which he has worked. Certainly all the information we are sharing with him from the remote only. This is an online version, so he couldn't make to FSM, but we'll always invite him to come and then work with us. Next slide. Yeah. So Deepak has been given now 5,000 cash award from FSM for his dedication and efforts he did during the internship. Thank you so much. Now I'll let you know about the project in industrial automation. So these are the two students from the same university. I appreciate their passion, and their faculty is also quite encouraging to them. Balbir Singh is there. Because of his efforts, they are able to make it to the FSM internship. And Agam had come physically and work in our lab. So as I was mentioning, we have offered an option to pick up some of them to work physically into the lab during the internship. So Bhabandeep Singh and then Agam both work for this internship in the domain of industrial automation. Next slide. So from the work that has been done, the industry jury members have chosen Agam for his work on the automated inspection cell that has been developed. Congratulations, Agam, for this award. And he had worked under the mentorship of Arun Kumar in FSM. Next slide. So he has worked, building on a basic understanding about the PLCs, how the different sensors to be interfaced, how we can capture the data from a digital vernier and from the roughness measurement instrument. Putting them all together, he has learned as a part of his internship, and we are building this automating inspection cell or the station so that it can be used on the shop floor, and the data about the quality of the jobs being produced can be digitally transmitted into the IoT platform. So that is the work that Agam has done as part of his internship. Next slide. So that's how he understood what's the building blocks of the whole system to be developed, connect them, program them, and at least take it to the level that the data will be coming from these devices and captured. Next. So congratulations, Agam, and there's a cash award from FSM to you. Thank you so much for your time and efforts you have made. Next domain, augmented reality. So it's really a fascinating domain for most of the young minds, and they would like to work in this. So Jayati Rawal from Birla Vishwakarma Mahavidyalaya and Venkatarakesh from Mahindra University both have been nominated by their mentors for this award. And based on the feedback from the industry jury members, we have finally selected, just through the next slide. Yeah. Jayati Rawal for this award. That's an AR-based fault diagnosis of RWC. That is a robotic welding cell. How the fault diagnosis can be implemented using the augmented reality. It's a project done by Jayati Rawal. Just hold on. Just hold on the previous slide. Yeah. So the interesting part that is coming out, if you see the mentors that are guiding Jayati for these projects, are the interns who did internship with us in 2021. So I think that is something, the multiplier effect we would like to create. I must congratulate Dheeraj and Ananya to keep on guiding the new mentors. So they did their FSM internship. They later on did extended the internship beyond the 2 months period as well with us. And then we have identified, so certainly guided by mentor from FSM, but they are the one who will be completely involved in guiding Jayati to implement this project. So it's really a multiplier effect that is coming out with these internships. So thanks for your time and efforts, Dheeraj and Ananya, you had made for this. Thank you. So they worked on creating this, as I was mentioning, the AR-based fault diagnosis for the RWC from the IoT data, how you will be able to identify what fault is in the robotic, because robotic welding cell is a little complex system. So how a maintenance engineer can do the maintenance, that has been done with the implementation of AR as part of this. Yeah. Next slide, yeah. So they have used the tools that are available with FSM. So ETC has supported those licenses for the implementation. So ThingWorks and the Vuforia has been used, but along with the basic coding of the HTML, SS, and CSS and JS is also being used to create the UI for implementation of this. Next slide, yeah. So congratulations, Jayati, for this award, our cash award of 5,000 from FSM for your efforts. Next. So in the domain of machine learning, it's really a more fascinating domain, and we always have a lot of interest from the interns in this domain. So there are 3 nominations received for this award in the machine learning domain. Hitesh from BMS College of Engineering, Kivalya Pandey from Birla Vishwakarma Mahavidyalaya, and Shubham Verma from Maharaja Agrasen Institute of Technology, Delhi. So these all have worked day and night. All of the projects that have been nominated are really excellent projects that they have done. And out of that, our jury has selected the project for the cash award done by, next slide. So Shubham Verma has been selected for this. So it's a power line fault detection. So it's a new problem, a little different from the manufacturing, but he has done the implementation of a machine learning as a technology for finding out the fault in the power line system. So it's done under the mentorship of Devesh. In fact, Devesh, so those who are associated with FSM are still keep contributing and working with us. Devesh has already gone for his Masters of Science, and in US he's pursuing his MS from US, but he still keep guiding the students and working as a part of FSM and contributing to this journey. So what we feel that it's not just those who are physically in FSM are contributing now. Now we are creating an ecosystem where people leaving FSM also keep working with us and contributing in some sense. So that's really a nice, thanks Devesh for your time and efforts you made during this internship. Yeah. Thanks Shubham for your work that you have done. Next slide, please. So he did all the model development part and then deploy it for the build a complete deep learning pipeline for the fault finding in the power line systems. So that is the work that he has done as a part of his internship. Next slide, please. So these are all the programming and the results that he produced, and the industry jury members have appreciated the work that he has produced within such a short span. Really, it is an application. Thanks, Shubham, for this, and you have been awarded the cash award of 5,000 rupees for this contribution. Thank you. Next slide, please. Yeah. So next domain is the robotics, where still a lot of development is going on in FSM, and there are nominations for the robotics project received from 4 people, and some of them worked in FSM, some of them worked online. So Divyansha Gulati from Maharaja Agrasen Institute of Technology, Aditya Singh from Bharti Vidyapeeth College of Engineering, Delhi, Arjun K. Haridas, Maharaja Agrasen Institute of Technology, again from Delhi, and Sambhav Jain from HBTI Kanpur. So you can see the various disciplines they are coming from. That is something which we are looking forward. Some of them are mechanical engineers, some of the instrument and control engineering, computer science. So they all worked on the robotics problem that has been given to them. And finally, we have selected, or I should say the industry jury member have selected Arjun K. Haridas for his project, integration of the computer vision with the collaborative robot. And that has been done under the mentorship of Ronak Bhanushali. Again, Ronak has joined his masters in US right now, but he keep contributing and helping the interns to complete their project. So thanks, Ronak, for your contribution, and Arjun for the effort that you had made to make this project successful. So congratulations once again. You have been given a cash award of 5,000 rupees. So he has used the camera and then identify the orientation of the parts to be picked up by the collaborative robot. And we deploy this solution along with our AMR and collaborative robot platform. So taking up a basic learning about the technology, integrating it with the existing infrastructure in FSM, make it working. That is something we are looking forward as an output from the internship that has been done. So thanks. And then everything is within a very short span of 50 to 60 days, I think, and including all learning part involved. So that is how the orientation has been identified for the different components, and then aligning the grippers to pick up the component. That is what has been implemented as a part of this project. Thank you so much. Next slide. So thanks, Arjun, for this. And here's a cash award of 5,000 rupees for just an appreciation for your work that has been done. Next. Real-time dashboard is another thing that that has been given as a domain area, and the nominations that we received from the real-time dashboard is. Next slide. Yeah, so the final award that we identified for this interactive portal of the robotic welding cell that has been created for a supervisor, actually, how a real-time dashboard can be built for a supervisor for this robotic welding cell. So K. Sri Sahiti is one who worked for this project, and then she got the award, and under the mentorship of Sanjeev Kumar, who keep on guiding her to implement this interactive portal for RWC. Congratulations. So this is something has been built as a part of this project. So they understand the ins and outs. So certainly how to use IT technologies to create a dashboard for a manufacturing system. All that has to be under what kind of latest tools can be used. So that is all being implemented as a part of. So basic skeleton has already been created. Once you plug in the data, you'll get the complete system development happens. Yeah. So it's a nice dashboard that has been built by Sahiti. So congratulations once again. So here is a cash award to you, Sahiti, for this project. Congratulations. Thank you. That's all basically for the awards. I again congratulate all the interns who had spent time and worked on the project, not only the one who got the awards. All the project that has been taken to the completions are certainly a very good effort, and the first interaction with these technologies and then learning them and implementing in such a short time is something we appreciate for all the interns, and looking forward for new interns next year. So before I go to the next slide, I just would like to address some of the questions. So we can just take up some of the questions, because then we'll end the program now. I will quickly would like to address some of the questions that are put on the chat by the participants. Criteria for internship and FSM is certainly quite open. So this 2-month summer internship is being offered every year. So now next term will come in April 2023 only. So that is that, and all who are interested can apply for this internship. Then there's a minimal eligibility criteria that we can look on. Then most important part is you have to clear the level 1 and level 2 for completing the internship, which is based on the project. So that is a very deep learning, and those who are really interested in understanding these technologies and apply for manufacturing will be selected, and they will be finally completing their projects. So that is how they can apply. It's a very interesting question. What role do you think entrepreneurship plays in smart manufacturing? And so if you just understand, I was explaining, Samiksha, you can stop sharing the slide just now. So I'll just address some of the questions. Yeah. So I was mentioning about the way forward and the challenges. Certainly, some of the technologies that we are developing in the lab are making ready to a certain level. So maybe TRL3, TRL4. Now, when we take these technologies for the deployment in the industry, we look forward for more people who will be playing an important role. And certainly the system integrators and the startups and entrepreneurs are the one who will be taking these developments to the end installation and deployment in the industry. Apart from that, most of the import substitution of these technologies has to be developed in the country now. That is something where our young entrepreneurs can play a very important role. They can do the real development, indigenization of these developments. Certainly, we look forward initially for the replacement of the IP on the software that we are importing at a very high cost. For example, I always keep giving example of a vision-based solution. So vision-based solution, if you see that the hardware is not costing more than 1.5 lakh rupees, but the solution coming as a package more than 5 to 6 lakh rupees, even 10 lakh rupees. The rest is the IP cost on the development cost on the software part of this vision-based solutions. So that kind of products can be developed by these entrepreneurs. So that's why there's enough, or I should say that ample opportunities available for entrepreneurs to pick up these technologies, and that they can develop in-house in the country itself, and they can be made affordable to the people from the MSME and other industries. So I think that's a very important role that entrepreneurs can play. I'll just pick one or two because in the interest of time. Yeah. So I'm working professional as a mechanical design engineer, which course is good for my career and also good salary. I'm sure that you might have heard a lot in the panel discussion that happened, and the peers have already given you enough input. But the direction that you can see, if you choose to work in the domain of smart manufacturing, some of the technologies that we are talking about, you have to start learning them. That is what the way forward. So starting from a basic awareness and the lower level courses, and then certainly go deeper into the implementation part. Once you build that kind of a learning and understanding, do a live project and apply those learning to the projects. And then you can be applying to the industries which are looking for forward for these kind of people. As Chandramouli sir has explained about the role of a mechatronics engineer or a smart mechatronics engineer. People like them, or maybe the IIoT, some of these domains where you will be able to really integrate and implement these technologies, certainly then you will be certainly awarded at a much better salary than what you are getting just as a simple design engineer. So possibilities are always there. So you can upgrade yourself, upskill yourself in the new domains. Yeah. Let me just see if any. Thank you. I think that some of these are the important questions that I just picked up. Thank you so much. Over to you, Samiksha. That's all from my side for now. Yeah, so so we'll be just having a national anthem before closure of the program. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir, for briefing us about summer internship program. Now I would like to thank every intern and mentor who have contributed a lot to make this program a success. So I request you all to stand in honor of national anthem. Thank you so much all the participants, speakers, panelists of the event for taking time and sharing their views. Now I would request Sunil sir to please take over.
Yeah, so nothing to take over further. We are almost at the end of the program. Thanks everyone for the participation. I look forward for more interns coming to us. And then apart from these 2 months, those who are looking forward for their start in this domain, they can apply for 6-month internship as well. We'll again take you through the evaluation process that we always take you initially. And then once you qualify for that, you will be allowed to work for 6 months in FSM. And then We also look forward those who have already graduated. If you know someone who are keen and passionate about learning this smart manufacturing, they can also apply to FSM. So at FSM, we are always open for the young minds, creative minds, and then passionate about the technology to work in. And we have plenty of opportunities. We have good infrastructure to support you on that. Thank you very much. Looking forward for the interns next year. Thank you, sir, for all your time that you have spent with us. Thank you all for this, making this event a successful. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
FSM, Smart Manufacturing Simplified.